what is your actionable advice for MSP leaders and employees and people leaders listening to you?
Like your own journey, Sunny, you were doing help desk work. You were walking around New York City handing out flyers to fix people's computers, right? And taking it to that next step beyond being that individual contributor, even with the entrepreneurial mindset, and focusing on how do I, like what Vikram was talking about, grow my people? How do I make sure that I'm not the smartest person in the room to take it to new levels? That's what we've tried to do with Team GPS.
People strategy is business strategy. And when you are in a service industry, it is pretty much the same thing. To scale, you need to keep your people. I feel the first actionable item is understand that people strategy is your business strategy. If you don't have people, there is no revenue.
Bringing the transparency and clarity to team is very important, and there where Team GPS can help a lot, where you can set up your goals and you can cascade those goals down to the end employee.
You love Team GPS. I love Team GPS. And in this episode of Culture and Career Corner, we meet the team behind this amazing platform created here at IT by Design. Vikram, Ryan, and Deepti. And remember, if you enjoy content like this, be sure to subscribe, like, and share. Now, here's your host, the founder and CEO of IT by Design, Mr. Sunny Kaila. Over to you, Sunny.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Sunny, thank you for having us.
Pleasure to be here, Sunny.
Yeah, no, thank you for joining Ryan, Vikram, and Deepti. I truly appreciate you as my team members, and why I'm excited about the podcast today is it's on talent, and this is a talent team. And not only, you live culture by design at ITBD, but you are the culture advisors for a lot of MSPs in the channel. And today's topic is culture. We're going to share your insights, your learnings with this world. And let's start with you, Vikram. Can you please share, first of all, a little bit about your life and career journey with IT by Design?
Absolutely. So I've been working for IT by Design for just over 2 years. Of course, I forget my life before that. It feels like I've always been here. I'm so immersed into the culture. I've kind of forgotten my life before that. But I worked in a lot of different fields. I've primarily been a software product person, building software. I've done it in finance, in education, nonprofits, and now I'm in the talent management / MSP space. So it's been a fun ride.
Awesome. Thanks, Vikram. Oh, and Ryan, can you tell us a little bit about your life journey?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Ryan Bailey. I'm the senior product manager here at IT by Design for the Team GPS solution. I've had an interesting journey. I've been in the MSP space for about 14 years. Hopefully I don't look like I could have been working for 14 years still at this point, but it has been a while. Part of my background was the service side operationally, and I came in as a professional services person. And when Sunny kind of had a vision for something new that he wanted to take on, he wanted to build a software solution, which was completely different from anything IT by Design had done at the time. I really wanted to dive in with that. I wanted to kind of make that switch, and I felt that I had the capability to really learn and grow in that area. And Sunny was so gracious in allowing me to do that and helping me grow along the way. We had some trials and tribulations, and we were able to really start to build that team. And that's kind of how my journey has gotten me here.
Thanks for sharing that, Ryan. And I think you're lucky with your genes as well. So I know you from many, many years now, and you're getting younger and younger. And you are like, I'm like, wow, that's really, really a gift that you have with your genes. And Deepti, can you please share your journey, your life journey with us?
Sure. So I am here at ITBD a little more than Vikram and a little lesser than Ryan, so in between. So it's been 2.5 years with ITBD in the software product division. And I can confidently say that my learning experience here has been truly profound. And during this period that I've spent here in ITBT, I have met with a lot of industry experts in the initial times that we had, started to work on the vision statement of Team GPS, and had given a significant role in shaping how our product looks like today. So that was a great experience. I'm looking forward for the same further from here.
Yeah. So we're talking about culture here. And I mean, there are so many books written on culture and why it is important and everything. So let's start with our culture, but then also share what you are seeing in the channel that you normally work with using Team GPS.
So I think at ITBD, the most important thing that I see in the culture aspect of it is that we are very intentional about whatever we do. So we are not only just checking a box and say that we are doing training and development, but we put in a lot of efforts, especially from the company leaders. True example of it would be collaborative way, the way we did it.
Yeah. So being intentional about team members' growth by supporting them with learning and development, providing them opportunity is what you see. How about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I would actually agree with Deepti, of course. I think the phrase I always use for that is it is intentional, but it's a culture by design, which is obviously a nice play on IT by design. It's kind of the general philosophy, but it is intentional in that way. For example, when the pandemic happened and we had to, along with everybody else, make all these crazy changes and view the new world, you were very intentional about trying to maintain that level of communication and culture with the team, not losing those things that were traditionally a lot easier to do when you're in an office with each other when you're talking. And so you started putting forth those intentional objectives, like let's have those morning connects where we bring extra value to you outside of just your operations, giving people ideas and methodologies around how to start working from home in this new world, and maintaining that work-life balance and really separating those things out. The collaborative way that Deepti had just talked about, it is a business sort of practice in how to collaborate effectively as an organization. But there's so much real-world value that you can take away from that in your personal life. And it has helped me use the proper language, communicate better, and have better, deeper, richer relationships in my life. And I think that that's something that I have not seen at another organization.
Thanks for sharing that, Ryan. And Vikram, now please share your thinking on ITBD culture.
Yeah. So I mean, everything that Deepti and Ryan said resonates with me. The intentionality, the reacting quickly to changing business and environmental issues. Like you said, there is tons of books written about culture, right? So everybody writes about it. A lot of people read about it, but very few people take the extra step of actually trying to implement that. And I think what has stood out to me in the last couple of years is trying to intentionally build the kind of frameworks where your idea of culture, what you think, does not remain limited to your circle of influence. It permeates the whole company. Like, for example, the experience I have with you is exactly the same experience an L1 engineer has with their manager, right? And that to me has been special, because I've seen a lot of companies where the leadership will do all the culture activities and they'll go to trainings, and it kind of stays stuck there. So I feel like the intentionality behind making sure that experience extends to everyone in the company and not limited to a few privileged few has been the really outstanding kind of thing that I've seen.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Vikram. Coming to our life lessons, and this time, Ryan, we're going to start with you. What are your life lessons that you would like to share with this world?
Yeah, so I've talked about this before, and as I've gotten older, I've started to realize those life lessons that you pick up along the way that really stick with you, that resonate, that last. I think, one, having a positive mindset, whether that's with yourself or with others, is so critical. You can't be there for other people. You can't be a positive influence and have a positive impact on other people if you have negative self-talk, if you're harsh on yourself. I'll catch myself doing this all the time in real life. I'll drop something and I'll be like, oh, what an idiot or something. And I try to correct myself immediately. You're not an idiot. You just made a mistake, right? And I think that if you start to deploy that level of empathy with yourself, it's so much easier to deploy it with other people. And it really has an impact on how people see you, how people interact with you. And it just makes a big difference in your interactions and your relationships. I think that just really helps with everything in business, your interpersonal relationships. And it's just one of those subtle shifts that when you start to do that, you see the difference over time. It's like going to the gym, right? If I go in the gym one day and put a lot of effort in, I'm not going to look that different. But if I'm consistent with it, if I continually remind myself of this and practice this, over time, I'll see those results.
That is so awesome. And yeah, going to the gym to develop that muscle. And then what do you focus on in the gym? Like, what's your objective? Which muscle you want to grow? That's also important, right? So, like, do you want to build six packs, or you want to build your biceps, like Ryan? Uh, I still remember the technique that you use to have bigger bicep, Ryan. The one that you showed me during our last trip to Chandigarh in the JW Marriott gym. So I still use that.
Sunny, what happens in Chandigarh JW Marriott gym stays in Chandigarh JW Marriott gym. Don't give any of my trade secrets away.
Okay, I will stop there and I will move on to Vikram. Vikram, what are your life lessons there? Because Ryan don't want me to talk more about our Chandigarh trip.
Yeah. So I think I would. I think right now I feel like I'm understanding being humble a lot more. Right. Like I feel like as a leader, as your scope of what you're looking at expands, if you still think that you are the smartest person in the room and you know everything more than anybody else, I think you are in trouble. So as you grow, I feel like it should be inverse. When you're really looking at a very small piece of whatever it is, your skill, you actually are an expert. But as you grow in your career, as your scope of responsibility becomes bigger, I think it's really more important to understand that you don't know everything about everything. And the goal is to be humble enough to recognize that, find people who know what they're doing, and then trust them. I think that has been something I've been marinating over the last couple of weeks because I have some really good people around me, and I feel like their success is the only way that I can be successful. So kind of understanding that and putting that framework of mind and making sure you're supporting the people around you to become their best selves, because that is how you kind of become your best self. Trust them, work with them. That's the long-term way to become successful. And it takes some effort to kind of switch that I'm the expert switch off. But once you do that, it's very liberating and it allows you to do a lot more with the little time that you have.
Yeah, that is so awesome, Vikram. Being humble and not having the desire to be the smartest person in the room, surrounding yourself with people that are much more experienced and smarter than you, that you can learn from them. You being a student all the time and knowing that you don't know everything. You don't know what you don't know. And for that reason, being a great leader, asking right questions in the room is the best skill. And that way you get to uncover your blind spots. And I really appreciate that thinking. So thanks, Vikram. Deepti, what are your life lessons?
So I feel it's very important to nurture your relationships. I think we are human beings, and respecting people is very, very important. And like you said, that we should endorse lifelong learnings, right? And I think the most important learning a human being can get is from a human being. We should be very, very open to things. For other things, you have Google, right? You Google everything, Chat GPT, and everything. There is so much of information in the world. You can always, go to internet, find out information. But the people learning that you get from people, it is only from people. So I think it's very important that you nurture the relationships that you have. And of course, there would be problems. There will be hurdles coming your way. Be persistent, be resilient. Then I remember that, anything that doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So let's keep going, keep learning.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Being resilient. is really powerful. If we don't have the resilience piece, then no matter what we achieve, you're always at risk. Because if you don't have the resilience, you can go south really quickly in any phase of your life journey. But when you have the resilience, then no matter what phase of your life journey you are in, you can always bounce back, and you can always make sure that you can continuously transform from whatever challenge, whatever hardship that you face. Life will throw curveballs at you. It's just a matter of when in our lifetime. Like everyone gets those, curveballs. Being resilient is the key. How to handle those curveballs. So thank you, Deepti, for sharing that. Now I have this just kind of additional bonus question. What is your actionable advice for MSP leaders and employees and people leaders listening to you?
I think you hit the nail on the head with a lot of this, Sunny. So what we've done in Team GPS is we want to, what you said about being the entrepreneur, the manager, especially when it relates to these smaller businesses, MSPs, oftentimes these are the people who have gotten to where they're at, because like your own journey, Sunny, you were doing help desk work. You were walking around New York City, handing out flyers to fix people's computers, right? And taking it to that next step beyond being that individual contributor, even with the entrepreneurial mindset, and focusing on how do I, like what Vikram was talking about, grow my people? How do I make sure that I'm not the smartest person in the room to take it to new levels? That's what we've tried to do with Team GPS, right? So one of the things that we've done is we've got it so you can ensure that your strategy has the connective tissue so that you don't miss out on the link between engaging your employees and servicing your customers and profits. I want to show my employees that the reason I'm asking you to do XYZ and hit a certain satisfaction score is because hitting that score will allow us to make sure that our customers are happy. If our customers are happy, they're going to stay with us. Retaining customers yields better profits and growth for the company. And that growth can then be invested back into you as an individual. So you can focus on your career growth, your professional development and promotions, things like that. So showing the connective tissue is super critical in giving them the why. Why am I asking you to do this thing? The other thing that we've tried to do is make sure that that's so easy to scale. Right? We have things in place in Team GPS where I can mandate that my managers are meeting with their team on a regular basis. I can determine that they're at least covering certain things that I expect them to cover so that I ensure that my team, each employee, has at least a baseline level experience with their manager that is positive, productive, and focused on their growth and career trajectory. And that's super critical. What we found in research and talking to HRBPs and data analytics is that the number one reason that someone is even going to start considering looking elsewhere at another job is that relationship with their manager or lack thereof. And so we want to ensure that each employee does have that connection with their manager, and we make it easy for the manager to conduct these things. We give them the tools right at their fingertips. So when they're meeting with their team, they have everything in order to focus on the personal relationship, the empathetic approach, and the career growth of the employee.
So I think, Sunny, you talked about people strategy and business strategy and how they're aligned. From my perspective, people strategy is business strategy. And when you are in a service industry, it is pretty much the same thing. So it's really difficult to be like, oh, this is my business strategy and this is my people strategy, because people are your business. To scale, you need to scale your people. To scale, you need to keep your people, not just get more people, but keep your people as well. So to me, specifically in the MSP space, I feel the first actionable item is understand that people strategy is your business strategy. If you don't have people, there is no revenue. So I feel like that is, I think, what we have done really well in Team GPS, which is, as Ryan was saying, hey, everybody knows, like, you know what, like the data point that Ryan talked about, like people leave because they don't have a connection with their manager. Everybody knows that, but nobody knows what to do about it. So we give you the framework that you can just be like, you know what, I'm just going to create these 5 templates. I'm going to roll that out. I'm going to get reporting, and I'm going to know exactly whether it's happening or not and take corrective action. we actually did roll out all of these to all people, and we saw the challenges we faced. And so we have built something that actually allows a company to scale really well without having to put the thought process. We have talked to experts. We have done it ourselves. So we have built something which gives you that roadmap, that framework to scale really easily versus you going and buying 5 different tools and trying to figure it out yourself.
Yeah, you don't not only get the thinking tools, the strategic talent strategy templates, but you get the system, and on top of that, support that these businesses need, these SMBs needs, where they can implement this. So becoming more like their friendly talent advisors,
Yep.
where we are helping them as implementers of talent strategies. And Deepti, how about you? What's your actionable advice for business owners, people, leaders, and employees working in the MSP channel?
I think bringing the transparency and clarity to team is very important, and there where Team GPS can help a lot, where you can set up your goals and you can cascade those goals down to the end employee. Plus, I would say that this clarity which is brought also empowers the end employee, because they know exactly what to do. So this is a tool where your performance, your goals, your recognition, everything comes to one place, and you also as an employee understands how are you performing. So I think it not only empowers the owners and the managers, but the employees also, because of the transparency and clarity that has in the product.
That's awesome. Transparency. That is the key to trust. I mean, the number one thing for trust, when you talk about Patrick Lencioni's dysfunctions or the trust, transparency, everything is like, that's the foundation. So thank you for sharing that. If you don't have that, you have nothing when it comes to culture. One thing that is so clear in the MSP business, and I have experienced this, is developing yourself to be a better talentpreneur is the secret sauce to scale your business. Great entrepreneurs are talentpreneurs first. If you figure that piece out, you are able to build and scale a self-transforming business. And that transforms people in the business as well. And this team is here to help and support. We are true go-givers. We have our Build It event coming, the only conference in the channel where they have a very comprehensive talent track. So please come join us at Build It on September 18th. Register today. If you need more talent advisory, please reach out to us on LinkedIn, ping us. We would love to talk to you about the talent operating system that this team was talking about, which is Team GPS. We are here to help and support. If you need our help, you need support, you need to tap into our thinking, please reach out to us, and we would love to help being your talent advisors. There is a real need out there for talent implementers, and that is what this team does. So please reach out to Ryan, Vikram, Deepti, or myself if you need any help in terms of talent advice, and we would love to help you. So thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Vikram. Thank you, Deepti, for your time today.
Thank you, Sunny.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Sunny.